But what happens if we reverse the flow? What if, instead of constantly releasing this energy outward, you learn to consciously recirculate it inward? When you do this, something truly extraordinary happens. This refined essence, this potent elixir, returns to nourish the brain, the spinal cord, the internal organs, and the glands, strengthening the entire system from the inside out. The ancient Taoists expressed this profound alchemical process in a simple, elegant formula. Jing, the sexual essence, transforms into qi, the vital energy, and qi, in turn, transforms into shen, the spiritual energy or spirit. So, how is this magnificent process actually achieved? It is done through a series of specific practices that can be summarized in 3 fundamental stages. The first stage is the activation of sexual energy. The very first step is to learn how to generate the energy without reaching the point of climax. This can be done through mindful self-exploration, or even more simply by stimulating the lower abdominal region through the practice of deep breathing into what is known as the lower Tan Tien, the body's primary energy center. The idea here is to gently awaken the energy, to feel a subtle tingling or a pleasant warmth building in the pelvic area. You are stoking the fire but not letting it burn out of control. The second stage is ascending recirculation. It is here that the true alchemy begins. Through a gentle but firm contraction of the PC muscle, the pubococcygeus, which is the same muscle you would use to stop the flow of urination, and combining this with slow, deep, conscious breathing, we begin to gently push the awakened energy up along the pathway of the spine. Using our focused intention and our powers of visualization, we guide this stream of warm, vibrant energy through the central channel of our body. We move it upward, past the abdomen, through the heart center, and finally all the way up to the crown of the head. The Taoists called this fundamental energy pathway the microcosmic orbit, and it is the primary circuit for circulating and refining our life force. The third and final stage is storage and transformation. Once the energy has ascended to the higher centers, it must be consciously stored in what are known as the 3 treasures of the body, the 3 primary dantians. It is stored in the lower dantian, located in the abdomen, to enhance our physical energy and vitality. It is stored in the middle dantian, located at the heart, to cultivate emotional balance and a powerful personal magnetism. And it is stored in the upper dantian, located in the head near the pineal gland, to foster mental clarity and sharpen our intuition. By consciously redirecting our sexual energy toward these vital centers, we deeply nourish our organs, we balance our emotions, and we expand our overall awareness. This incredible process not only rejuvenates the physical body, but it also increases longevity, boosts immunity, enhances personal magnetism, and cultivates a deep and abiding inner peace. A very precise metaphor for this is to think of your body as a rechargeable battery. Most people in the world today are constantly draining their battery without ever taking the time to replenish it. The art of sexual alchemy teaches us how to take the energy that is leaking out and re-inject it back into our own system, not only recharging our battery but also increasing our total life force capacity over time. Now that we understand the fundamental foundations of sexual energy cultivation and transmutation, it is essential that we explore the subtle but crucial differences that separate a shallow, mechanical practice from the art of true inner alchemy. Because, as the great Taoist sages always taught, the true power lies not just in the technique itself, but in the quality of awareness and the refined sensitivity with which that technique is practiced. Let's begin with a key concept: the difference between accumulation and stagnation. Many practitioners, especially those who are just beginning this journey, learn how to retain their sexual energy, but they don't yet know how to properly circulate it throughout their system. This can lead to a host of uncomfortable symptoms, such as a sense of discomfort in the body, increased irritability, feelings of anxiety, insomnia, or a persistent tension in the pelvic area. The ancient Taoists warned of this very danger, saying, "Sexual energy is like water in a dam. If the gate isn't opened to let it flow through the system, internal pressure builds and the system collapses. That is why the practice of daily, conscious recirculation is absolutely essential. It is not enough to simply retain the energy. The energy must be made to flow and be transformed. Deep abdominal breathing, the ascending visualization of the microcosmic orbit, and gentle energetic massage are the keys to avoiding this dangerous stagnation. Imagine that with each slow breath and each gentle muscular contraction, you are pushing that energy like a luminous healing river, rising up and nourishing every single cell of your body. This constant, gentle flow is what sustains our vitality without creating overload or pressure. The second important nuance is the emotional quality you bring to the practice. If you attempt to cultivate your sexual energy while your mind is filled with thoughts of anxiety, with feelings of guilt, or with obsessive, low-vibrational fantasies, that negative vibration will pollute the very essence you are trying to refine. This makes the recirculated energy low in quality and far less beneficial. This is why the masters always emphasize the importance of practicing with a calm mind, a slow and even breath, and a deeply reverent attitude. Your sexual energy is highly sensitive and responsive to your emotional state. Your intention is what ultimately defines the frequency of the energy you raise. Another vital point to understand is the delicate balance between retention and release. The philosophy of Taoism teaches that any excess in anything ultimately breaks the body's natural equilibrium. So, this practice is not about never releasing your sexual energy. It is about finding a healthy, conscious rhythm that suits your unique constitution and lifestyle. A classical principle from the ancient texts says this: if after a release you feel energized, calm, and connected, then it was appropriate for you at that time. If, however, you feel tired, depleted, and empty, then it was excessive. Deep self-observation and a commitment to being honest with yourself will be your best guides on this journey. Likewise, we must not forget the importance of strengthening the physical body alongside these energetic practices. The ancient Taoists incorporated practices like Qigong, mindful stretching, meditative walking, and a proper, nourishing diet in order to sustain the flow of this highly refined energy. A strong and flexible body is the proper vessel required to contain and direct this subtle energy without becoming depleted or overwhelmed. Finally, there is the most important principle of all: integration into your daily life. True mastery of the Tao is not defined by what you experience only in your seated meditation sessions, but by what manifests in your everyday life. A noticeable increase in your daily energy, a sharper mental clarity, a profound emotional serenity, an enhanced personal magnetism, and a state of robust, vibrant health, that is the true fruit of successful energetic transmutation. All wisdom, no matter how profound it may be, only truly comes alive when it is embodied through consistent, daily practice. The ancient masters knew that it is consistency that serves as the key that unlocks the gateways to lasting and meaningful transformation. That is why, beyond all the theoretical concepts, it is absolutely essential to bring into your life simple but powerful actions that will activate, circulate, and refine your sexual energy, allowing you to turn it into a source of lasting youth and vitality. Here are 5 essential practices, drawn directly from Taoist alchemy and adapted for our modern lives, that will allow you to begin experiencing the benefits of this energetic mastery today. First, the practice of conscious abdominal breathing. Each morning, before you begin your day, find a comfortable place to sit with your spine upright. Place both of your hands over your lower abdomen, about 3 fingers below your navel. Now, inhale slowly and deeply through your nose, feeling your belly expand outward like a balloon. Then, exhale gently and slowly through your mouth, allowing your belly to soften and relax. Continue this for just 10 minutes. This simple practice not only activates the Tan Tien, your body's primary reservoir of vital energy, but it also deeply oxygenates your sexual organs and strengthens your entire nervous system. Over time, you will find that your natural, everyday breathing becomes deeper and your mind grows significantly calmer. Second, the practice of gentle perineum contraction. Throughout your day, at any moment, whether you are walking, sitting at your desk, or working, you can gently contract your pubococcygeus muscle, the PC muscle, as if you were trying to stop the flow of urination. Hold this gentle contraction for just a few seconds, and then release. You can aim to do 10 to 20 repetitions per set whenever you remember. This simple action strengthens the lower seal of your energetic body, which helps to prevent the leakage of energy and stimulates the flow of sexual qi up the spine. The Taoist said that this simple exercise ignites the lower cauldron, awakening the body's innate vitality. What if I told you that within you, right at this very moment, deep in the unseen layers of your own body, lies a source of eternal youth that very few know about? What if the ultimate secret to maintaining your physical vitality, your mental clarity, and your own personal magnetism didn't rely on any external potions, expensive treatments, or fleeting modern fads, but on a powerful energy that you yourself generate every single day? Since the dawn of civilization, the Taoist masters and the wise alchemists of the world's most ancient cultures knew something profound, a secret that modern science is only just beginning to glimpse. They understood that sexual energy is the most concentrated essence of our life force. It is not merely the biological impulse that creates physical life. That is only its most basic function. In its higher potential, it is the primordial elixir of vitality that, if preserved and transformed, has the power to revitalize the body, strengthen the mind, and prolong life itself. The ancient Taoist sages called it Jing qi, the raw sexual energy that naturally flows from the lower region of the abdomen. In its normal, unguided course, this incredible energy has only one biological mission: to leave the body and create another human being. But here, right here, lies the great forgotten secret of the ages. If, instead of constantly releasing this precious energy, you learn how to raise it, how to guide it, and how to recirculate it throughout your own system, that very same energy that creates life outside of you can be used to create vibrant, renewed life within you. The Taoists who mastered this sacred inner alchemy believed they could build an immortal body. This was not meant in the literal sense of living forever, but rather as the cultivation of a rejuvenated, strengthened organism, a body free from the grip of premature deterioration. They believed it is possible to reverse the process of wear and tear, to preserve our innate vitality, and to live longer, fuller lives. Through simple yet profound practices like testicular breathing, energetic massage, and the recirculation of qi, anyone can learn to preserve their sexual essence, transmute it from its raw state, and return it to their own energy system, supercharging their entire being. In this journey today, we will unveil the deep mysteries behind this ancestral wisdom. We will explore in detail how your own sexual energy can be consciously transformed into pure life force. We will understand how this remarkable process can slow the aging process, strengthen your immune system, and bring a level of mental clarity you may have never thought possible. Most importantly, we will learn how to integrate these powerful techniques into your daily life to cultivate longevity, vitality, and a lasting inner youth. If you have ever looked at certain individuals and wondered how they radiate such a powerful magnetism, such an unshakable vigor, and such a deep serenity, even in their old age, this knowledge is the key. Because true, eternal youth isn't found on the outside. It is found in the mastery and the conscious transformation of the most powerful energy flowing within you. Get ready. What you are about to learn is not just another technique. It is a sacred path of internal alchemy that can radically transform your life, your health, and your very perception of time itself. To truly understand the depth and the profound magnitude of this knowledge, we must first travel back in time to the ancient, mist-shrouded mountains of China. It was here, for millennia, that Taoist masters observed the natural world with a patience and a precision that today seem almost mythical. They were the original scientists of the subtle body. They wondered, why did some ancient trees live for thousands of years, while other organisms withered and died so quickly? Why did certain animals seem to maintain their full vitality throughout their entire lives, right up until their final days. Through painstaking observation, deep meditation, and direct personal experimentation, these sages reached a remarkable and revolutionary conclusion. The key to longevity was not just about diet or physical exercise, though those were important. The true key was the preservation and the careful refinement of the internal life force energy, what they called Jing. Jing is the fundamental essence that sustains all of life. This primordial essence, they discovered, resides primarily in the kidneys and is most potently expressed through our sexual energy. They taught that each time this precious essence is unconsciously released, whether through excessive sexual activity, uncontrolled emotional outbursts, or poor lifestyle habits, our fundamental reserve of vitality is depleted. As this reserve drains, the aging process accelerates dramatically. Master Sun Sima, who is considered one of the greatest physicians and alchemists of ancient China, declared with profound certainty, "The wise store their essence as the dragon guards its pearl. He who wastes his seed shortens his life." From this deep understanding, a whole science of inner cultivation emerged. Practices such as Jing Gong, the cultivation of sexual energy, and Niden, the art of internal alchemy, were developed and refined over centuries. These sophisticated techniques taught the practitioner how to refine this raw essence, this Jing, and transmute it into qi, which is vital, circulating energy, and then later to refine the qi into shen, which is pure spiritual energy. This powerful transmuted energy would then ascend through the spinal column, nourishing the brain, revitalizing the organs, and ultimately expanding the entire energetic field of the individual. Meanwhile, halfway across the world in ancient India, the traditions of Tantra and Yoga also spoke of this very same sacred alchemy. The yogis taught that sexual energy, which they called ojas, when conserved and sublimated through spiritual practice, would feed the powerful coiled energy at the base of the spine, known as the kundalini. The awakening of this energy would allow one to reach states of profound illumination, to experience vibrant, radiant health, and to live a long and purposeful life. This truth was not confined to the East. Even in European Hermeticism, the transmutation of sulfur and mercury, the alchemical symbols for the masculine and feminine principles, was a central and recurring theme. Throughout the ancient world, sexual energy was seen as the very cornerstone of physical, mental, and spiritual development. But this powerful knowledge was not shared openly with the masses. It was a closely guarded secret, transmitted through intimate teacher-student lineages only to those disciples who had demonstrated the maturity, the discipline, and the reverence necessary to handle such a potent force. It was understood that misusing these techniques, approaching them with the wrong intention, could be more harmful than beneficial. That is why, in our modern times, with the widespread trivialization of sexuality and a profound lack of conscious guidance, this sacred wisdom was almost completely lost, relegated to dusty, hidden texts and forgotten traditions. However, in recent decades, pioneering masters like Mantak Chia have courageously worked to revive and modernize these ancient teachings, adapting them for contemporary practitioners who are ready to hear the message. Today, you have direct access to this once secret knowledge. Understanding its deep historical roots not only provides context, but also allows us to honor an ancient tradition that holds the power to rejuvenate the body, clarify the mind, and elevate the soul. Imagine for a moment that your body is a living, breathing alchemical laboratory. See it as a sacred temple, where each cell, each organ, and each gland functions as a vital part of a masterfully designed energetic machine. And within that sacred temple there is a fuel, a source of power more potent than any other, your sexual energy. If you know how to properly refine this fuel, it can feed and supercharge every single one of your vital systems. But if you waste it, if you let it leak away unconsciously, it will gradually drain your strength, weaken your vitality, and dramatically speed up the aging process. According to the deep wisdom of the Taoist teachings, sexual energy, or Jing, is the body's most precious raw material. This fundamental energy is cultivated in the kidneys and the sexual glands, and it is directly connected to our hormone production, our capacity for cellular regeneration, and our overall feeling of vitality. From a modern scientific perspective, one could say that this essential energy, this Jing, is what nourishes our entire endocrine system. This system is responsible for secreting the hormones that regulate our growth, our metabolism, our reproductive capabilities, and our emotional well-being. And here lies the critical key to understanding this entire process. The body uses massive amounts of biochemical resources to produce our sexual fluids. When those precious fluids are frequently released without conscious awareness, the body is forced into a state of emergency, constantly trying to replenish those resources. This endless cycle of depletion and replenishment slowly but surely exhausts the kidneys, the adrenal glands, and our other vital organs. Over time, the symptoms of this depletion begin to manifest physically. They can include chronic, unrelenting fatigue, a noticeable loss of muscle tone, prematurely aging skin, hair loss, and a persistent mental fog that makes it difficult to think clearly. Third, the practice of the inner smile and organ massage. Once a day, either lying down or sitting comfortably, bring your awareness to your internal organs, your heart, your lungs, your liver, your spleen, and your kidneys. Gently smile inwardly to each of these organs, sending them sincere feelings of appreciation and gratitude for the work they do. Then, using your warm palms, gently massage the area of your kidneys in your lower back. This loving massage directly activates the Jing energy that is stored in the kidneys, reinforcing your most vital reserves of life force. Fourth, the practice of energetic recirculation, the microcosmic orbit. Before you go to sleep, or after your morning abdominal breathing practice, perform the energy recirculation. Lightly contract your perineum. As you inhale, visualize your energy rising up your spine all the way to the crown of your head. As you exhale gently, feel that energy descending down the front of your body, returning to your abdomen. Repeat this cycle 9 to 36 times. This powerful technique redistributes your sexual energy throughout your entire system, preventing stagnation and deeply nourishing your organs, your glands, and your brain. Fifth, the practice of conscious moderation and discovering your personal rhythm. The most important thing is to listen to your own body. This path is not about repressing your sexuality, but about finding a conscious and healthy balance. If you choose to release your sexual energy, whether you are alone or with a partner, do so without compulsion and with your full presence and awareness. Afterward, observe how you feel and adjust your frequency according to your own unique energetic needs. Remember the great Taoist principle: that which accumulates but doesn't flow creates illness. That which disperses without control drains the system. Virtue always lies in the balance. By integrating these 5 simple practices into your life, you will begin to cultivate, each and every day, a radiant vitality, a peaceful mind, and a rejuvenated body. Throughout this journey, we have explored a body of knowledge that, though ancient, resonates today with an urgency and a clarity that we can no longer afford to ignore. We have unearthed a secret that does not belong to any single era, because it is timeless. Sexual energy is the most powerful source of life we possess, and whoever consciously masters this energy masters their youth, their vitality, and their very destiny. You have realized that your sexual energy is not merely a biological impulse, but a potent alchemical elixir that can feed every cell in your body, expand your consciousness, and awaken your spirit. But beyond all the techniques, the most important thing you can take with you from this journey is a new perception of yourself. You are more than just a body that ages. You are an alchemist of energy, a potential master who can choose each and every day whether to deplete or to cultivate, whether to scatter or to nourish, whether to age prematurely or to regenerate from the very depths of your being. Always remember, youth is not a stage of life. It is a state of your energetic field. When your energy flows freely, When your essence is preserved and transformed, your body will radiate health, your mind will radiate clarity, and your spirit will radiate serenity. May the light of your refined energy illuminate every corner of your life.